Hey guys, so let's talk about Mandalorian Season 3. I am just going to talk about the whole season, my thoughts on it. Mild spoilers, I'm not going to get super deep in the weeds in this whole season, everything that happened. And I am going to talk about just my thoughts in general as to what I think this season was and where the show could potentially go. So, this season I thought was fine. Was it my favorite out of all of them? Probably not, but I think overall, with the theme and where they were going with this season, it fit. Like, that's where you're definitely going to have a mixed reaction with any product, especially such a big franchise like this. You're gonna have mixed reactions. Not everyone's going to have the same opinion. For myself, I liked certain aspects of this season. I think for me, I liked more of the. I'm always a sucker for backstory, I'm always a sucker for lore. When it comes to learning a little bit more about Mandalore, I am upset they did not talk about Satine. I am upset her name was never mentioned. That is the one thing I think that I'm upset about this whole season. Aside from that, though, I'm always a sucker for lore. I'm always a sucker for more backstory and understanding how just like a world works and how maybe, the group of people work, what they believe in, what they want, their motivations and everything. So, and I think that's really what this season was. It was something to bring everybody together in a sense and make this more not of a family dynamic, but to basically unite. Um, the episodes or the things that I really enjoyed, like I said, was definitely the backstory, the lore, but I also enjoyed the episode regarding the Doctor, where we got to see a little bit more of the New Republic after the Empire fell and how basically people were readjusting. Once the Empire fell, well, now what? Like, now what do you do? I thought that was just an interesting concept that really there was something about that episode I was like, I honestly would love to see more of this. Like it was so interesting just to see it, and made me really think a lot of the ways I wouldn't say are similar to what were happening, but just really makes you think. Really loved the Zeb cameo, and of course you have your season finale. The season finale, again, I thought was fine. With this whole cloning, like, I don't want to call it an agenda, but that's essentially what it is. That's what they're after. They're trying to tie everything together as to, like, all these different properties as to what's going on, what they're after. And it makes sense, why they were after Grogu, what they wanted, and trying to harness and see if they could tap into that force entity that the Jedi's have that makes them essentially special. Like, can we take that out, give that to other people, and essentially genetically engineer and make them, make other people special. The season was fine. Personally, I really feel this was a season to bridge. And what I mean by that is We are now having, we're gonna have the Ahsoka show. There are, how many other shows, properties that are constantly being made and done, like Book of Boba Fett has been done, everything else in between. And the thing is, I started to think during season 2, what's going to happen? Because at that point, the whole mission was, okay, we have to get Grogu to a Jedi. Like, we have to get him trained. And so I started to wonder, I'm like, okay, once we get him to a Jedi, like, is this whole show, because let's say they didn't get him to a Jedi, is the next season going to be, oh no, we still have to get him to a Jedi? Like, is the whole show just going to be centered around getting him to a Jedi? Getting him trained. And I'm like, what if you get him, like, if you succeed in this mission, what then? Because people, I think, once the show started, I think some did just enjoy the Din aspect, like just the Mandalorian aspect, but a lot of people really grew attached to this connection that they had when it comes to Grogu and Din, like a father-son kind of relationship. And if you take that away, like if you take Grogu out of it, now what? Like, now it's not there. So it really makes you start to wonder, okay, where's the show going to go? I felt once season 2 happened, I was like, okay, we could definitely have this, like, segmented piece where we see splits of them, like Din's doing his thing, now that he's met Grogu, gone on his missions, seen how things are, maybe he'll have like a change of heart, do whatever missions, etc., etc., and then Grogu's gonna train, be a Jedi. Book of Boba Fett said no. Grogu grew an attachment to Din, gonna go back to Din. And so we got to see more of this training of being a Mandalorian in Grogu's case, but we got to see more Mandalorians. And so I feel what this really was a chance to explore or venture into seeing maybe more Mandalorians, or venturing with other Mandalorians, whether it's also seeing Grogu grow up and like continue to apprentice and work with Din on missions. Maybe Sabine will make an appearance. I have no clue, but I think this really gained an opportunity to expand this world, expand the lore a little bit, instead of it maybe just focusing solely on Din and Grogu. They definitely will still, I think, be the sole like breadwinners, don't get me wrong, but I think it opened up a playing field for more people instead of just them, which I think is a good opportunity. So I'm curious to see where the seasons continue to go. I don't know how many more seasons there will be. I know Dave and Joe, they take this stuff seriously. I have full confidence, like, definitely in like them both, especially Dave. he's been involved in multiple Star Wars projects, so I have full confidence in it all. So we'll just have to see. But this season was, like I said, fine. Like, in my opinion, it was not bad. Like, was it my favorite? No. But I cannot foresee where it's going to go, because it really felt like it was just wrapped up in a pretty little bow. Like, it really felt like a happy ending. So we'll have to see. Maybe Ahsoka will open something up. I don't know. Feel free to leave your thoughts down below on what you think, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.